Oh, we're going to talk about, so let's talk about busyness, man. Talk to me about what you were trying to post this morning on Facebook.
I was listening to a podcast in the shower, and I heard it was a Tim Ferriss podcast. I don't remember who was on. It was one of the most recent, like 3 or 4 of them. The woman who was on it said, being busy is a choice or it's a decision. And I'm like, duh, I know that. But a lot of other people are like, no, I'm really busy. I'm doing all this stuff. And then it went on to say, like, basically, you make a choice for what's important in your life, whether it's significant or important enough to you to do it. So, like, if you want to play with your kids, you're not too busy to play with your kids. You just think that your work is more important, so you do that instead. Or you think that watching Game of Thrones is more important. You do have time to start a business or, like, make follow-up calls or whatever the case is. You just think something in your life is more important than another thing, or it's not important enough to you to act on it. Or frankly, for me, a lot of times I use being busy as an excuse to not do things that I don't want to do, or that I don't want to invest too much time in. So I will use busyness, but then again, it's not important enough to me to do it. Right?
But you're not actually busy. You're just saying I'm busy, so you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think we were just talking about this. We were filming earlier about business to busyness is like, it's a funny thing for like entrepreneurs. It goes hand in hand with an entrepreneur. Is that like people feel like they have to be busy or put off the perspective of busyness in order to like feel like you're running a business, and they feel like when they're really hectic and a lot of stuff is happening, it means that they're running a business. And I was just saying that like business is a very direct reflection, I've said this before in a podcast, of somebody who they are in their real life. And I tend to find, I was just thinking about this morning when you posted it. I don't know if you find, but like a lot of different like title companies seem to have this outlook where you're like, you call up a title company and they're like, oh man, we have this many orders. It's just crazy here. We can't get this done. It's so crazy. There's so many things going on. It's like, did you streamline your business?
Yeah.
Like, and first of all,
don't get me started on title companies.
Yeah, I love. There's some really good ones out there.
Shout out to Lexi.
Yeah, there you go. So
Prosperity Abstract.
But like, it for some reason it brings in this like element of like, look, your business is chaotic. It doesn't have to be. Your business is chaotic, and what you're gonna find is a lot of times the owner of that business is also, when they go to their home life, also this chaotic busy. Yep. They're always busy. But you're like, dude, what's your high level activity that you're doing that is, and you're going to find that the busyness is really just a bunch of low level activity that you're doing because for a multitude of reasons. And breaking out of that, I think, is super important if you actually think you're a business owner.
Letting go of the vine.
Let go of the vine, man, because there's nothing attractive about being busy. It's really not.
Well, most people's businesses are at the very least small businesses with less than 20 or 30 employees. The businesses, I think, probably 9 times out of 10 are nearly a direct reflection of the owner or whoever is the most immediate superior to everybody there that hangs out. I mean, like, you can have a silent partner that like owns everything, but your business is going to be a reflection of whoever the buck stops with on the ground, right? Always, unless you get to an organization, like a large organization standpoint where it's each department might be a reflection of who's head of the department or whatever, but like, they always say like the country is a reflection of what's going on with like the president of whatever nation it is, like, you know what I mean? Like, but the leadership matters, right? So like if you as a leader are just busy all the time and doing things that you think are important to get done, but really don't need to get done by you, like what do you think is going on in the rest of your business? Like, why do you think you're having all those problems that inevitably come with people that act like that? Your home life is crumbling. Your wife wants to leave you. Like, why do you think that stuff's happening? It's probably because you don't have control over.
It's probably you.
Yeah.
It's probably you. And you look at and the other thing that happens with somebody that kind of takes on that cyclone of busyness is they attract people that thrive in that environment. And all of a sudden, instead of having a business where I'm so busy, I got to hire somebody. You hire your first person in your business. You give them a bunch of different tasks that have nothing to do with each other, and they don't know what they're doing. And all it does is amplify the busyness and the garbage that you're just vomiting into your business, as opposed to like sectionalizing like what your people should be doing, departmentalizing. Like, hey, clearly this is your function. Anything that takes this much time in this realm is what you're doing. So if somebody that you're going to hire is going to take that position in a busyness world, all they're doing is amplifying the busyness and
making everything worse. So that if you want to keep your busyness and your business, switch it like this. Make sure you're busy for everything else except the one thing that you're going to improve this week. everything else you are too busy for. You are too busy to talk to your assistant about getting better. You are too busy to deal with like whatever inner office issues you're dealing with. But you're not too busy to deal with like lead generation or sales or whatever your thing for the week is. You're busy for I really do love that mantra. I like to I've heard this from a few business mentor people that that I know. A strength of mine is staying laser focused to basically one thing, which is wholesaling real estate, and the connecting things to wholesaling real estate is sales and marketing. So, anything that allows me to use those talents, I'm like really cool with, and like I'd rather put more eggs in those baskets using those talents than like, oh, I'm going to learn how to code this week. I'm going to learn how to do like lease options like we were talking about earlier this week. Like I just want to do this one thing. I want to get really, really good at it. I want to be the best in the world at it, and I want other people to ask me to help them with their things. That's what I want, right?
And that's it, laser focus. Laser focus is so important. I mean, you look at like top performers in any industry. Let's take like an obvious one, like Tiger Woods in golf, right? His laser focus is winning at golf. There's nothing else to it. So if it doesn't involve winning at golf, if you ever like, they say his obsession with golf is off the charts, right? Like people don't know what goes on behind the scenes. So if you're not focused on winning at golf, or you're not focused at becoming the best, wholesaler, and you go, hey, yeah, I mean, coding, and maybe I'll learn about, title work in my wholesaling business. You're creating busyness for yourself.
Absolutely.
Tiger
Woods isn't trying to learn how to play football.
No, isn't like I get like why would you do that? So like you got to ask yourself that question. I would also say to people like, I'm saying this from a perspective of like I am where I am now and understanding that idea, but it's not like I was born that way. It's not.
Yeah.
So like when I first started in business, unfortunately, you actually did a really good job of avoiding it for the most part. But I was in that cyclone a little bit. And I had to have my eyes open, and I was like, whoa, what am I doing all this stupid shit for? And the reality was, once I realized that and you pull away from it, so you can back your way out of it. And I think just like you said, like if you can work on like one thing in a week that is not like, if your laser focus is wholesaling and lead generation, and it's not one of those items, you've got to find a way to back yourself out one at a time. Like, it doesn't have to happen all at once. You go, all right, I'm just dumping everything on you. You handle it. No, like, sectionalize, departmentalize so it doesn't get screwed up, and then work your way back into all I'm doing is wholesaling and lead generation. That's it. That's all I want to do. So you can work your way out of it, but first thing is recognize it. And second thing is, if you're a business and I call you up, and especially in real estate, and you go to me, I'm too busy, there's too much going on, we have too many of this, that's a you problem. It's not a me problem. If you want my business... And I'm not saying, like, if you don't want my business, that's cool, but it is a really shitty thing to hear from another business owner that's like, whatever's going on behind your doors is not my problem. Are you rock solid or not? It's just a good way to make your reputation look stupid. It's just like, as soon as you say that to me, as soon as you say those words, I go, okay, I know what the whole back end of your business looks like. Your books are probably a mess. People are probably mad. I don't even know if this is going to get done. I'm out, right? Like, I'm not going to work with you. So I would say be aware of that as a business owner. Don't ever use that on the phone. Don't ever tell somebody, potential client. I'm not a complainer. I don't really care. I just won't do business with them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. What else you got going on, man? What's exciting?